Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. So glad that you're here. We have a very special show planned for you. I'm going to introduce them in a second, but I just wanted to make sure you know just how important and how historic today is or was, because it is Dr. King Day, and we have an administration. Well, not the same administration, but the same president going back into office. And this is unprecedented and it is not normal. So welcome to Lemon Live at 5. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. I'm going to repeat that. And I said time and time again, during the second term, you can be informed without being inundated. Okay. And that is how we're going to approach today's coverage. I am going to make you aware of what's going on. We're going to talk about what's going on, but we're not going to get into the pettiness of it. We're not going to dwell on certain things. We're just going to be informed with the appropriate amount of attention placed on the subjects we believe. And you guys correct me. If you don't like it, correct me. I'm not going to talk about every second of the proceeding, going over every little bit of thing and this person here and that person here. So what we've done is that we have picked out the moments that best illustrate what is happening, that this is not normal, as East Coast Transplant says that on the chat. Let's keep it real, okay? I'm not going to obsess over every petty piece of nonsense. You're welcome, Rhonda Woke, for such an enjoyable morning. So I'm promoting you like crazy here in Ohio. Thank you. We had a fantastic morning where we barely touched on the inauguration. We paid tribute and homage to Dr. King. This is his day. And we took the temperature down and we discussed issues. You got to you got to have your comments and your feedback up on the screen and addressed. Today has been difficult, someone says. Think puppies and kittens and take a deep breath. That's what Kristen Thompson is saying in the chat. No, instead, I'm going to only hone in on, again, the most not normal moments from today. Okay? So in order to keep me in check and to make sure you have a voice, and because we promise in our memberships that the folks who are members get special treatment. Okay? So the highest tier of our memberships is called Lemon Legends. Lemon Legends get to be on the screen. They get to be part of the show. So why don't we introduce them? These are the folks that are going to talk us through today. I want to see how they're doing. Maureen Marfell is here. Jim Brim is here. Kim Page is here. Warren is here. Nicole Cox and May Money. Just a few of our Lemon Legends. I'm so glad that you're all here today. I'm going to start the show off and then we're going to discuss. First of all, let's talk about the folks who were sitting pretty much on the front row. What people are calling the oligarchy, as another Lemon Legend, Peggy, joins us. Let's play it.
About politics, we see Jeff Bezos right
here.
But also I have to imagine
these are the folks who are on the front row.
As well. I mean, these are.
You're seeing Jeff Bezos. You're seeing the CEO of Google, or I forget what our Alphabet is up. You're seeing Elon Musk, who's obviously the owner of Twitter and Tesla and SpaceX, also presiding over Doge, which is that blue panel committee. You're also Jeff Bezos, as I said, Mark Zuckerberg there as well. These are the folks who are on the front row. And what they said about this, the billionaires, the stagecraft on Donald Trump's inauguration placed global billionaire tech titans. Just put the picture of them up. In the front row of his own cabinet picks. So you see them on the front row and look at the cabinet picks in the back. The RFK Juniors of the world are in the back. I forget, what is his name? Mike Duffy, I forget his name, in the second row. They're in that second row. Roll the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just roll it and you don't have to play the audio on it. But look, so you see RFK Jr. back there, and that other gentleman is another Scott, not Scott Bessent, but the other guy who's head of HUD, second row. There you see Pete Hegseth, maybe second row, maybe third row. Okay? and whoever else you can make out. But the billionaire, Sean Duffy, thank you. But the billionaires, some of the richest people, I believe, not some of the richest people in the world, on the front row. So this is coming under fire because Trump critics are, this is a sign, they say, of oligarchy and the powerful influence they wield. During this ceremony at the Capitol Rotunda, tech leaders, including Meta's CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Apple CEO Tim Cook, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk gathered together to symbolize the increasingly close relationship between the tech industry and the new American president. This is where we're going. This is not where we're going. This is where we are. So fasten your seatbelts. It is going to be not a bumpy, a turbulent 4 years. That's why it's important for you to be here. And it's important for us to keep it honest, to keep it truthful, not to normalize it, no false equivalence. The industry leaders were originally supposed to sit on the dais, a position of honor where Trump's family members, former presidents, and other high-profile guests, when the ceremony was still scheduled to be held outside. Those are the folks who are going to be on the dais. But because of this frigid weather, the inauguration was moved inside. That's what they say, the frigid weather. Okay, maybe. I also think it's about numbers. I also think it's about crowd sizes. They scramble the existing seating arrangements and promoting the tech leaders to positions next to Trump's family members and ahead of the cabinet nominees. Big tech billionaires have a front row seat to Trump's inauguration, posted Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren on X. They have even better seats than Trump's own cabinet picks. That says it all. That's a quote from Elizabeth Warren. Progressive journalist Lee Fang further noted, Trump surrounded himself at his rallies with everyday Americans, which is true, right? Coal miners, police officers, teachers, factory workers, right? Everyday people. Remember, I love the poorly educated, everyday Americans. But not today. Is this an F around and find out moment for those people who supported him? We'll see. Why only politicians and billionaires for the inauguration is a question. Over the next decade, Silicon Valley is going to replace blue and white collar workers with AI and outsource more jobs. This is what Lee Fang is saying. And outsource more jobs overseas. Truckers, designers, engineers, lawyers, and far more. Power will flow to the dozen tech overlords standing next to Trump. Put them back up, the still picture. Standing next to Trump at his inauguration. He says this is ominous optics. Last week, former President Joe Biden warned that an oligarchy is taking shape in America, extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, and of the dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a few ultra wealthy people. There you go. Look at the front row. What do you think of that? To the lemon heads, to the lemon legends now. Lemon legends, thank you for joining. Peggy is with us as well. We can't hear you, Peggy. You're muted. Peggy is with us here as well. And even though, so Peggy is the last to join, I'm going to ask you folks, let me start with you. May Money, what stood out to you the most? And what do you think? Well, I should ask you, what do you think of all those people on the front row, the billionaires,
well, that's
the titans
really where
of industry, the wealthiest people in the world, some of them?
That's where I was getting to. Like, first of all, I don't recognize none of these motherfuckers in the front. Like, for real. Like, who are these people? I've never seen, like, besides like Jeff Bezos, little bald head, and like the perm with Mark Zuckerberg. But everybody, I mean, look at RFK in the back row, all tucked away in the corner, and then Pete Hegseth is in the back row. Like, aren't those your people? Like, who are these did you elect Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or any of these people? Like, where did they come from? Why are they here? I mean, we know why, but it's just vile to me that, I mean, this again is normalized. Like, this is just the regular schmegular thing that we're all supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is cool. This looks like a good photo for the inauguration. It's all up inside. Nobody's here except for the people that can buy the entire world and probably the entire universe at this point. It's just disturbing and vile. And I don't recognize any of the family members or any of these people. So I just think it's scary.
Did you
We are
watch
in
any of
for
this today?
hell nah.
Yeah. Maureen Marfell, what do you make of all those folks on the front row and the consolidation of power? You're in San Francisco right? And you're muted, by the way. You're in San Francisco and you're in the Silicon Valley where all the tech folks are. What do you think when you see that front row?
Gosh, I've been born and raised in this area. My husband was in high tech. My brother was in high tech, and they are tough people to work for. It got worse and worse over the years. When it first started out with Hewlett and Packard, I'm just using them as an example, it was wonderful. They cared about their employees. They cared about their neighborhood. And I have watched it for all of us just disintegrate. They've taken over, but I never thought they would take over our government like this. It makes my blood run cold. It's not right. It's a bad mix. It's a bad mix. That's how I feel about it. Not good.
Kim Page, are you okay with the consolidation of money and power in this country by people who are not, by unelected people, unelected billionaires?
No, but what I will say is we've been on this trajectory for a long
This is for Kim
time,
Page.
but it's
There's
been.
Kim, I'm
it's
sorry.
been-
I thought I didn't. I'm sorry. I was watching the wrong feed. Go ahead, Kim. Sorry. What were you saying?
That's okay. But it's been behind the scenes, right? Money and corporate money, and not so much tech maybe, but all corporate money has been controlling a lot of our politicians for years. Now it's just out in the open. It's blatant. And that's the part that I, sit back and go, okay, yeah, we are officially now in an oligarchy. That's how I feel.
Jim,
Absolutely.
what happened to the everyday American? I'm looking out for you, the coal miner, the little guy, the people who have trouble making ends meet. I'm looking out for you. What happened to that today?
What do you mean what happened to it? That gets votes. They're done. The election happened. The votes were already made. Those people are kicked to the curb now, just like the rest of America. I mean, we've sold our elections through these super PACs and this whole thing for decades now, and it's finally caught up to us. And I don't know what the answer is. I think the answer is that if politicians want to run for office, get all the money out of it, and everybody gets 50 minutes free airtime 3 times during the election period, and if voters want to tune in and learn about the candidates, that's what they get.
Yeah.
And get rid of all the special interests. I know it's not realistic, and I know it isn't, but there could be some kind of hybrid where that is cut back, because this is just ridiculous. I mean our government was just sold. I mean, there was a tag sale. I mean, who knows? I mean, is the Washington Monument sold? Does someone else own it at this point? Does someone else own?
Well, look, you're watching Lemon Live at 5. This is our show that we have with our Lemon Legends, the highest tier of our membership, and they actually get to be on the program. Also, our members' comments get highlighted, like Elva Rodriguez. Thank you for your support of independent media. Elva says, so are they selling government intelligence to the highest bidders? Look, I don't know that. I don't know what they're doing, but it is concerning. Where are the Democrats ignoring his election fraud confession last night? Democrats are betraying us. Now, the election fraud confession, I understand what you're saying beyond extinction, and thank you for your support. I think if you listen to it, he is, there are 2 different comments that I know that people are concerned about when they talk about election fraud. One was talking about the voting machines, right? And the other one was saying that they rigged the election, but he's saying that the Democrats rigged the election, and that's how he became president again, is because in 2024 rather than 2020, where he felt he should, and now he's back in office to be able to help the people who wanted their help for some bill or something that came up in 2028. Okay, so thank you for that comment. Also, Dale Shand, the long game, this is decades in the making. Thank you for your support of independent media. Absolutely. Do you think that this is lasting? Do you think that this is lasting, Nicole? I'm sorry, not Nicole. Who is Kim Page? How long does this last?
Well,
Kim?
according to our great philosophers, it doesn't. That most oligarchies, aristocrats, this type of government doesn't last. I'm hoping that's the truth. I'm hoping that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
We are in uncharted territory. It's like, but you know, how are we supposed to approach this? Where do we get our power besides our voice against, all of this money?
Yeah.
It's we're in new territory. That's all I can say. But if we look back in history, if we look back at our great philosophers, if we look back at the great minds, they don't last.
Yeah.
And history will say it doesn't last. But how long is that, right? Is it 4 years? Does he try to stay in power?
Yeah.
That's my concern.
That's my question, Nicole Cox, because I think he's already queuing it up so that he can stay in office for 2028. And he's already, I believe he's going to try to run again. I don't think Donald Trump is going to leave. And with the help, possibly, of some very, very powerful people. There was someone today who is, I forget what it was, but is a political consultant or political advisor saying, we haven't had this much of a coalition of oligarchs or billionaires or whatever. We haven't seen this since Russia. What do you say?
Okay, Don, you always hit me with the hard ones. I agree with Kim. I agree wholeheartedly with
Answer
Kim.
however you want, by the way, Nicole.
It totally will not last. And we know historically, none of these things last. History just revolves and recycles, it remakes, it rebuilds, it disintegrates, it reintegrates. That's what human societies do. The question on the table is, how will it end? What will we have to go through until it ends? What are going to be the processes? What are going to be what losses, what gains and losses are going to be happening until this ends? That's really the question on the table. And that honestly, I think that's the question nobody really wants to ask. We know this can't last. None of this ever lasts. What we're afraid to deal with is we really don't want to open up that box to look at what we will have to lose in order to eventually win. And we do see strategically what is being put in place and what pieces are being moved in order to minimize the voices of la résistance, if you will. Persons who are most likely to be the loudest voices in resistance to what is coming down the pipeline are being strategically silenced, moved out of the way, shipped off. They're finding ways to get those voices out of the way, and finding ways to, and we can get to that later, but they're finding ways to get on paper why your voice does not matter, because you are most likely to resist what's coming. Okay, because the whole reason that they've gotten as far as they've gotten is that unfortunately a great deal of people have now, they've developed these parasocial relationships with these people. These are their avatars. These are their, it's power by proxy.
It's their buddies. They think that they have a real relationship with these folks, and they actually don't.
No, they really do.
Yeah, because
they really
see
do.
it and hear about them so much. Yeah, and especially because
they really do.
So I think social media has done that. This is what Tim Miller has
Yes.
said, Warren. Tim Miller says, four of the five richest men in the world were on stage cozying up to Trump. This is a type of oligarchic power consolidation we used to only see in Russia and China.
That is correct.
Go ahead, Warren.
That's
Oh, yeah, you took me aback with the photo that you showed, because I wasn't even aware of the photo. I didn't watch any of that today, and I don't know any of those people. Well, I do know them from just being online sometimes, but yeah, evidently it's a new world, and we understand that. I've been in this world for probably longer than anybody on this the lemon heads, but it's disheartening to see this happening, and to experience it, and to only be about 10 blocks away from where it happened or is happening, and to live in the District of Columbia and not to have a representation in how I select my leaders. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, because it's not going to be successful. So I'm just going to, as people say, I'm going to get my popcorn and my Coke and just sit back and watch.
Peggy, I want to bring you in. Peggy, did you pay attention at all today? And we showed all of the folks who are on the front row. What say you, Peggy? And welcome, by the way.
I watched it for 3 hours. And,
you watched it. Most folks here didn't, but go on.
No, I didn't watch Trump. I watched you.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't watch Trump. I'm 81 years old, and I've been through the 60s and all the crap we went through in the 60s. And I just can't believe where we are right now. I mean, I feel like we're in Russia, and I'm just very sad about the whole thing. I couldn't watch today. I won't watch. And, you know, we are in an oligarchy, and nobody wants to say that except people, the lemon heads and other people in the world. Nobody wants to really believe it, and it's true. And we're just going to have to get through the next 4 years. Yeah. That's all.
Look, if you're just tuning in, this is Lemon Live at 5, and we have our the top tier of our memberships, which is the Lemon Legends, that get to come on and be a part of the program, other than their comments being profiled and highlighted on the program. If you're watching us, whatever platform you're watching us on, make sure you hit the like, the hearts, the thumbs up. It affects the algorithm. More people become aware of our community, of our conversation. We are streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on TikTok. We're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, and the platforms that are overseen or either owned by the folks who are on that front row. On where else? We're all on all the streaming platforms. We're live on this. So make sure you follow us, you like and subscribe. So we appreciate all of that. And subscription, you can be a subscriber. It's free. Just subscribe. Go onto YouTube, hit the subscription or the subscribe button. To become a member, we're going to put the membership, please, producers, put the membership in the top of the chat so that people become more aware of our community, and they're doing it every single day. I'm hearing people all the time. I watch Lemon Live at 5. I watch Hot Topics. Hot Topics today had more people on it, I think, than maybe almost any other Hot Topic program that we did. And I want to talk about, we're going to get to this whole thing about Donald Trump taking the oath without, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. But guys, this is the oddest, strangest, I believe, in all of my years on the earth, the oddest, strangest administration that I have ever seen. Now, take a look at this picture. This is Donald Trump taking the oath of office. And you put one hand up, right? And then you put the other hand on the Bible. Donald Trump did not do that. Now, I'm not saying that he is the devil, he's not whatever. But can you imagine if that was Joe Biden or Barack Obama or a Democrat and someone did that? They would say, oh my gosh, they're taking Jesus out of politics. They're not believers, they're sinners, they're going to hell. Can you imagine? He did not put his hand on the Bible. Now, look, I know that some probably maybe think that's petty. I don't think it's petty. I'm just saying this is not normal. What do you think of that, Jim?
Well, I think he'd have to sell it as a used book.
Say again?
I think if he put his hand on it, he'd have to sell it as a used book. You'd have to repackage it and resell it and put it in the used book bin. But I mean, we all have to kind of take a step back here and remember, you know, what I'm predicting is going to happen. I mean, Donald didn't even come in as a Republican the first time around. If you remember, he wouldn't declare his dedication to the party until the very last minute. I mean, he went to the Clintons' wedding. He was a Democrat. He was all this and said and good. I mean, he's got his own agenda, and I think we're going to see some tariffs come in. We're going to see a grandstand. A lot of people, like, you know, it's going to be an episode of Cops where they go in and round up a bunch of people and ship them out, and then that's all going to die off, and then he's going to go into his agenda that we don't know anything about. And I think part of that is, you know, he's letting it slip. He wants land. He wants to play the game of Risk. He wants the Panama Canal. Why? Because he's still upset about his building in Panama. He's still upset about, you know, go ahead, Adon, I'm sorry.
Don't forget the Gulf of America. That's one of the things that he's
And
doing.
the Gulf of America. I mean, he even said it after the last Florida hurricane. Well, look at all that great waterfront property that could be snatched up because people can't get insurance.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think there's a whole other agenda that once the politics plays through and he has his friends in there, we're going to see something completely different than what we're all experiencing, what we're all thinking right now. And I think when the lower end of the upper echelon of our country starts slipping, like the tax benefits don't hit them, and you know, everybody just starts sliding down here and there, then there's going to be some kind of revolt. I'm not gonna say a war, I'm not gonna say a civil war. I don't want it to be that dramatic, but you know, he's already dialed back. I can't do anything about the price of eggs. I can't do anything about you know, the wall. Look how much of the wall he built last time. Come on. I mean, he doesn't really care about that stuff. He's got things that don't even he's got things in his mind that aren't going to affect our daily lives, I believe. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but
I think a lot of people are hoping that you're wrong, but unfortunately, I don't think that you're wrong. Especially they're walking back this report saying that they were going to start in Chicago this mass deportation tomorrow. To try to deport so many people is going to really affect the economy and not in a positive way. And look, I'm not saying that we don't have immigration issues. The border needs to be taken care of. We're going to talk about what they're doing about that in a moment. But I just want to get show of hands.
Where's the MAGA base? Where's the MAGA base that are standing out in the cold that didn't even realize that the ceremony today was held indoors? I mean, there was a bunch of them out there thinking they were going to get to see the inauguration. And, you know, when are they going to turn around? When are they going to realize they were duped?
Yeah,
I agree.
TikTok. If you're watching us on TikTok, there are so many people watching us on TikTok. Make sure you hit the hearts. We appreciate you joining us. Also, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, I'm speaking to all of the viewers that we have, many today on YouTube. And so you too can come on YouTube. You can become a subscriber and watch us program. And you get the full frontal view of what I am doing here. So just a show of hands. What did you guys think? Did you think it was odd when he didn't put his hand on the Bible? Do you think he just forgot? Do you think it was that was purposeful? Oh my gosh, Nicole. Nicole, you are going to need a chiropractor for that neck roll. What happened? What do you mean? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, it wasn't open to 2 Corinthians. Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This gentleman, this individual, this human being has no intention, has no interest in the Hebrew scriptures that we call the Holy Bible. He has no interest in that book. Now, I am not going to say he's not. I have no authority. And if I'm a true Christian, I do not stand in the place where I can point at anyone and say if you are a Christian or not. I have no idea what kind of conversations you have with the man I call Jesus or not. I cannot say that. I can look at what you do and say, whether you have conversations with him or not, you are or you are not representing him well. That I can do, and I have full permission to do that, according to the same book that apparently you do not read. But I can say this. You're not interested in those writings. Nothing in those writings do you execute in real life. None of them. Now, the persons who support you, who claim also to be Christians. Now, I'm about to give y'all insider information for those who don't know. We have been saying for a long time within the Christian community that we do have a literacy problem, when it comes to biblical literacy. We have a problem. And it's been something that those of us who have leadership positions within many denominations within the Protestant church have been talking about. That average church attendee, though they enjoy coming and they have feel-good moments, are not very literate when it comes to what's in those 66 books. And of course, if you're Catholic, 66 plus Apocrypha, okay? They just don't know. So you can rattle off anything, you know? Well, you know, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That is not in there, baby. That is not scripture, you know? and people don't know. So playing off that, there are many what we call nominal Christians. They believe in the Almighty God and treating people right, and, you know, respect your mom, you know, and all these other good things that most normal, decent human beings believe in. Yes. But they don't read that book, and they're not interested in it. Okay. They're just not, because it does get complicated, and you have to sit and actually study and get with people. He ain't interested. Why would he put his hand on that? That man can barely read.
Who is it? Hey, May Money, I believe that you raised your hand. Who else wants to respond to this? But May Money, go first.
Yeah, so I had first of all, surely he has a Trump Bible where he wouldn't accidentally burst into flames if he accidentally
Don't do this, May. Don't do that.
But I actually have a genuine question here. So I've only watched one inauguration that I remember. I watched Obama's. I must have been in 9th grade, 10th grade, somewhere around there.
Now you're just showing off, but go on.
My first actual, you know, inauguration that I watched was Biden and Kamala, and, you know, there was poetry. There were all these speakers from all over. Amanda Gorman was there. I mean, it was like a whole functional affair. It just was cultural and beautiful and all sorts of just stuff there. And this just seems weird. And so my question for the, you know, the panel and even the chat is like compare, because maybe some of y'all have even been to an inauguration. Like, what are the the major real differences that you're seeing between just the norms of how this event is supposed to go? Because from my understanding, you know, I'm only 32 years old here, but this shit was weird. So like, what
Well,
I just
all right, let me answer your question.
what's not normal and what is normal about this whole event, because, you know, some of people like me aren't quite educated on what the inauguration is supposed to be like. And I'm worried that younger children who have never seen one and have only known Trump and all this bullshit, like, will like think that this is normal if we don't tell them what is actually the
Okay, let me
norm,
jump in.
you
I
know?
know where you're going with this. And you're right. That's why I said this is not normal. And that's why we're all here. Okay. You're 100% right. Here's the thing. No, this is completely different. And this is than most inaugurations and most Republican inaugurations. Never, even back in the, you know, go-go days of the 80s of Ronald Reagan, where opulence, they were like, opulence is going back to the White House, and, you know, greed is good. There were not people, oligarchs, billionaires on the front row. They did not have such an elevated position, even in the Reagan administration. And then the first George H.W. Bush administration, that didn't happen. Those are the ones that I remember watching their inaugurations, and it was different. And even then, for Republicans, it was a much more inclusive affair, especially for starting during the Clinton administration, the Barack Obama administration. Lots of diversity, very inclusive. And that's why you saw the Amanda Gormans and such during the Biden-Harris administration. So no, this was not normal, and that's why we're saying it. And again, I want to get back to the Bible thing, and then others can entertain your question. I want to know what folks thought about the Bible, because that is a not normal thing that happened during the inauguration today that we want to talk about. And you can address May Money's question. Who wants to go?
I will.
Go ahead. Let's let Kim go, because she hasn't spoken in a while. Go ahead,
Sure.
Kim.
My take is very simple. I just think he's a petulant child, and it's a defiant move more than anything. I think he didn't honor his oath the first time around. He has no plans of honoring his oath the second time. And I just think it's his defiance. He likes to, that's kind of a macho thing. He thinks it is to be defiant and to break the norms and to not go with the program. And I don't know, that's just my take.
Do you think that he was because he had someone else can, if you want to, Jim, do you think that because he has no plans on honoring anything that he's going to do or what the oath of office says, that he's not putting his hand on that Bible because he doesn't want to burst into flames or something? Jim?
I think that, I mean, it could be so multifaceted, like his brain. He's a multifaceted guy, and it could be the big FU to the Christians who stood behind him, and he's going to do what he wants, and he's just saying, you know what, I'm not Christian and I'm not following that. Or maybe it's a little fear. Maybe he realizes he's very close to meeting his maker if he believes at all in God. If he has one thread of religion in him, he might be like, yeah, I better not swear around this time, because I am going to have to answer to him or her or whomever's up there. And so I don't know. I think I think whoever said it, it's just defiant. And I think you're right. I think the whole thing is just, he's going to do it his way. I think he did it inside because he was afraid you're spot on about the crowd size. And I also think he was afraid of, a repeat of Pennsylvania. So, he wants to do what's important to him, and religion has never been important to him, ever. So, why would that be different today? Now he kind of, all right, I'm here to stay. I'm never leaving. I don't have to suck up to the Christians anymore. I don't have to suck up to MAGA anymore. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
Hey, Don.
Go ahead.
Don, real quick, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Warren.
I thought it's in my head. I thought about Obama. Did he not put his hand on the Quran when he was sworn in, and how the media is going to respond to this man not putting his hand on the Bible? Again, I didn't know any of this was happening.
Barack Obama, it was a Bible. It wasn't a Quran.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that? Barack Obama is not a Muslim. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Muslim, but Barack Obama was sworn in with a Bible and not a Quran. And by the way, you don't have to put your hand on the Bible. It's just traditional for whatever book of faith or whatever religion that you belong to, that you put your hand on that book. But
right.
Barack Obama, again, not a Quran.
Well,
See, some people think that.
To say, I recall one politician did have a Quran, and that was there was a lot of talk about that. So that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, but this is freedom. Look, we have freedom of religion in this country. And if someone wanted to put their hand on the Quran, if they were being sworn into a political office, they have every right to do that without criticism from anyone. It's just that we prioritize Christianity in this country, maybe because most of the folks in this country are Christians. But still, that's the reason that we left England, is because we wanted freedom of religion. We didn't want a monarchy, etc. So if someone wants to put their
Ilhan Omar, I think.
Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about this? Or are we over-indexing on this Bible thing? Perhaps he just forgot. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe it was a long day. He was out partying, doing Macho Man last night. Anybody else care to respond to this? Go on.
Well, Don, I wanted to go ahead, Peggy.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Peggy.
I know why he wouldn't put his hand on the Bible, because he doesn't respect it. And he doesn't respect anything or anybody. And I remember at Jimmy Carter's funeral, Andrew Young was speaking, giving the eulogy, and Trump was sitting there looking at his program with this bored look on his face. I mean, he was so disrespectful. I couldn't get over it. Looking at his program, not listening to what Andrew Young was talking about. And I think that's just a perfect example of how he is. He doesn't respect speakers. He doesn't respect the Bible, and he doesn't respect anything that can help him.
Mhm.
And I'm just upset about it, and just thank God for you guys. And I want everybody to become members, because this is the only way we're going to get through the next 4 years. I'm not going to go through what I went through the last 4 years with my TV on. I might even pull my cable out of the wall. I mean, I'm not going to do it. And Don, it was just such a beautiful program you had today, and I just want to thank you for doing it and listening to the Reverend, and it made my whole week. And thank you so much for doing it.
Oh, Peggy, thank you. Someone is fiddling with their either microphone or headphones or whatever, and it's doing a little scratchy thing. But thank you. Why did you enjoy it so much? I was concerned. I said, I'm going to cover it, but I'm not going to sit there. Someone, again, is messing with, don't fiddle with your whatever, if you have a microphone on or whatever, or headphones, because it messes with the microphone. But Peggy, why did you enjoy it so much? And why do you think that folks tuned out? Because there were so many people who watched us this morning and who are watching now, because they don't want this, they're sick of people treating this as if it is normal, as if you have to sit there and pretend, oh, they're wearing this and they're such and such sitting in the back row and blah, 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 blah. You may pull your cable out of the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it reminded me of listening to Martin Luther King and back in the day, because and I saw Jesse Jackson when I was a social worker in Chicago on the South Side. I saw him speak, and it just brought me back to those days when I was listening to people who were real, and Trump isn't real. It just makes me crazy. So it just gave me hope again. We need hope.
So listen, yeah, I know. I was talking to the folks on TikTok. I wanted to make sure. Look, I appreciate everyone who is. We had so many members join us today. Laria Bray Realtor has gifted 5 memberships because of her generosity. 5 people get to become members of the Lemon Nation. Tracy Smith and all of our new members, welcome. And remember, it's to subscribe. It's free. I encourage everyone. Thank you, Jade. It's sad to see the country my father fought for in World War II fall to oligarchs/fascists. Thank you for your comment, Jaded One, and for your support of independent media. I really appreciate that. Smoke and mirrors to keep us focused on rich guys, to divide us by class war because race war won't work anymore, says Vanessa Escobar. Thank you for your support. And thank you, Lindy Charisse, for your support of independent media. Yes, didn't put his hand on the Bible or on the bar because he knew he was going to go up and smoke and meet his maker down under. Oh my gosh. Brenda Howell Phillips, thank you for your support. That is a shady comment. All right, anybody else?
Y'all love burning people up.
I know.
Don,
anybody want to respond to May Money as well? May Money, if you guys can talk about it. If there's anyone who has any perspective on former inaugurations that they can talk about why this one is so unusual and why we're treating it as not normal.
Well, Don, I wanted to say one thing on the last thing you said, and just a quick thing to May Monies. But you said a very important phrase in response to all of us, is that all the presidents prior to this have sworn in and have the choice to be sworn in on whichever book of faith they belong to. That phrase is so important. Belong to. Who does this man belong to? Who? What does he belong to? And that is not necessarily for anybody to answer, it's rhetorical. But what does he belong to? When you stop and actually think of, as long as we have known of him and his track record of the things that he has done and what he's been involved in, is there anything that he belongs to? There's probably only one thing that I can think of, that he has consistently chased, money, and more of it, because he doesn't know what to do with it. Like a dog who chases a car and doesn't know what to do when he catches it. He chases money, he wastes it, and then he has to chase more of it. And there's no lengths to which he won't go to do it, and no depth to which he will stoop. So maybe if they had a stack of money, maybe if they had a stack of bills there, he may put his hand on that and sworn. So there. But quickly to May Money, I think I watched President Obama's swearing in, and I was awash with tears. Oh, look at that. Why are you doing this? Don, oh,
That's him, but he's doing it. But we're showing what he is.
Worst.
Oh, stop, Don, stop.
But we're
Don,
showing
you
without
only
the
do
Bible.
this to me. I promise you, it's personal.
Does it, you guys? Does it hurt that much for you to see this?
I have avoided this all day, and
Yes,
my blood pressure has been fabulous.
It does hurt. It hurts. I didn't even know this was going on. I mean, I knew it was going on, but
Not only is it disgusting, but his posture is atrocious. But I watched President Obama's. I wept the whole time, and I think that's the only inauguration that I watched in entirety. Like everyone else's, I watched bits and pieces and highlights and portions, but President Obama's, for obvious reason, I watched every single piece I could get my hands on because I wanted to sear it into my memory, because sadly I did not think it would ever happen again, and then he did it again. but those I did, and it was gorgeous. They were gorgeous. But I'm biased like crazy.
Yeah.
But all the other ones were beautiful too. The portions that you see, they make you forget that there are separations between us. They make you forget.
Yeah.
You completely forget. You forget that
he completely ruined Joe Biden's. Completely ruined
Jim,
his.
talk on it.
Took that away from him. Sorry to interrupt, but
because
that was just criminal. Yeah.
Because of you mean the pandemic?
No, that the election was stolen.
Oh, got it.
Riot on January 6th. He just completely ruined Joe Biden's day in the sun and his inauguration after giving 40 some odd years of service to this country. He just ripped that out from under him.
As well as Kamala, the first woman to even sniff around the White House, took that moment away from her too.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. I want to talk about birthright citizenship. I want to talk about some of the things that this administration that they're doing now that already they're putting things into practice. Stand by one second. Okay, already they're putting things into practice, executive orders and such. First one, birthright citizenship, okay? President Trump is expected to kickstart the process to revoke birthright citizenship after years of proposing the constitutional change as a way to reduce undocumented immigration. Birthright citizenship, meaning that someone born within the U.S. or its United States territories is automatically a citizen, a U.S. citizen, is currently protected by the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The clause often referred to states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Trump wants to reinterpret the phrasing subject to the jurisdiction thereof to mean that the federal government would not recognize automatic birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to parents without legal status. Incoming White House officials told reporters on a call on Monday, speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss upcoming actions. This action is likely to see immediate legal challenges. Details about who might be impacted or how he plans to move forward remain to be seen. He is expected to sign executive orders and actions Monday afternoon. Over the last several decades, the number of babies born to parents without legal status to be in the United States has dropped. The Pew Research Center estimated that 1.3 million U.S.-born adults are children of unauthorized immigrants, according to 2022 data, the latest available. But immigrant rights advocates said the proposed move would affect the next generation of children. An estimated 4.7 million children would have one or both parents without legal status by 2050 under current policy, according to data from the Migration Policy Institute. Let's dig into this because there are two aspects of this immigration story. So that is one of those aspects of the immigration story, okay? I just want to play a little bit. That's the birthright citizenship part of it. This is my friend Mehdi Hassan over at Zeteo, his platform. I just want to play a little bit of it to explain to you that this is protected by the 14th Amendment. He cannot do, I believe, what he wants to do, but we'll see what happens. Here's Mehdi.
Born in the United States of America. You're an American, right? That's how it's always been. I mean, it's in the Constitution. But Donald Trump doesn't care about the Constitution, and he's been very open for a while about how he plans to end this core constitutional principle, end birthright citizenship.
You have people on the border, and in one day they walk over, have a baby, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to pay the baby.
So we are looking at birthright citizenship very seriously. It's frankly ridiculous.
On day one of my new term in office, I will sign an executive order making clear to federal agencies that under the correct interpretation of the law, going forward, the future children of illegal aliens will not receive automatic U.S. citizenship.
You heard that last part. Trump not only thinks he can take away a right explicitly outlined in the very first sentence of the 14th Amendment, which explicitly says, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. But Trump being Trump, he thinks he can get rid of it all by himself, not via constitutional amendment, not even via Congress, but via executive order. Yes, our next president is planning on instructing government agencies to deny social security numbers, passports, and public benefits to newborn babies in the US whose parents don't provide proof of their immigration status. But here's the thing. Birthright citizenship isn't just explicitly laid out in the Constitution, it's also been explicitly upheld by the Supreme Court. In fact, the relevant precedent here is over 100 years old. Yes,
Yep.
back in 1898, birthright citizenship took...
Mehdi goes into, thank you, Mehdi. Mehdi goes into the history of birthright citizenship. Now, remember, look, I know folks are going to say, and maybe you're going to disagree with me. A lot of folks have said to me, Donald Trump cannot do everything that he thinks that he can, that he's planning on doing. I disagree. I think he's going to do that and more. I think he's going to find a way because the Supreme Court now is what? Mostly conservative. A number of them, 3 of them at least, he appointed. Okay? He's got all branches of government. He's got all of the money in the world around him. So I think he's going to be able to do a lot of this stuff, whether we like it or not. And that's why we need to stay sane and sober about our intentions and about what we're doing. Again, not normalizing this behavior. Here's the interesting thing. You guys, I don't know if you watched the show where I played the soundbite of Vivek Ramaswamy, where Vivek admitted that his parents were not legal in this country. So under these very same rules that Donald Trump wants to impose, Vivek would be deported. And yet folks like that are still supporting Donald Trump. Many of the people who supported Donald Trump would be deported if he actually gets to put this in place. If he gets a constitutional amendment or whatever it takes. Many of the people who supported him may be deported. That is birthright citizenship. Do you guys think he'll be able to do it? Are you outraged by it? Are you happy for it? Maybe you think it is needed because we need immigration reform in this country. What say you, Maureen Marfel? In California, a state with many immigrants.
Yeah. Yes, very many immigrants, and those that they work hard. Most people would not be fulfilling those jobs that they've done for us here in California. I also have a nephew who's, I probably don't want to say a whole lot, but she could be affected. And here she's married to a U.S. citizen, and she also has children that were born in this country. I think there's a better way to look at immigration, just like you say, Don. There are problems that need to be taken care of. But I can't see hurting people who've lived here and worked hard and wanted a better way of life. That disturbs me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anybody else in the Legends want to comment on this birthright citizenship? Anyone?
I mean, that would deeply, yes, I would like to comment on that, Don.
Go ahead, May Money. I think Kim wants to as well. Kim, is that correct? I saw you.
Yes, I'll be brief.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm from Oakland, California, straight up. And like, I mean, this would affect like a lot of people that I know for no reason. I mean, their families have been here for generations, or, you know, one or two, depending, but a lot of people that I know would be affected by this if they really tried that. It would be, I think, easier in a smaller sort of state or something to tackle that, but I think so like California might be a little bit safer when it comes to these sort of things, which isn't like I'm saying that's, well, thank God, but also like that's horrible that anybody else in the state would have to be less stable than us over here. I just think it's not right. This is very like detrimental to everybody. I mean, this just is like taking a thread out of a tapestry and just completely just unraveling everything that we've put together. That's what this whole 2025 is feeling like, is just like unraveling and taking apart everything that we've built.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
Kim, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I live in obviously Southern California, so like Maureen, you know, seeing the immigration on both sides, the issues we have and the positive side. My point is, I wonder, you know, these generalities, how many immigrants are actually crossing the border and giving birth? So I think that's an exaggeration. Most likely it's, like Maureen said, our workers that are here, that are supporting the farms, that are supporting the milk farms. Those are the ones that are having families here and giving birth. I think it will be harder for him to do this because it is a constitutional amendment. So I do think this one, he'll have a bit of an uphill battle on. What's the unknown is, you're right, he has the Supreme Court. Will our courts hold in this? I'm not as concerned about California because I know Newsom and Bonta will fight it with everything they have, but I am concerned about the other states. I think it's an uphill battle, but we'll see.
Let me just say this. I love this show today. I love that we get to talk about these issues again and not pretend that everything is on equal footing and not pretend like some things are objectively bad, right? And much of what the Trump administration is proposing now, is doing, and the campaign did, was bad. And so we're not going to sit here and pretend, and then we don't have to say, well, because they did something bad, the other side did something bad. No, this is bad. And what this is going to do, really, I think it's going to have a chilling effect on some of our allies who rely on immigration. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing as it relates to the HB1, right? Visas for the folks who come over. The other thing is this, you guys know about this CBP1 app where folks have to go in and apply? Do you guys know about that? Okay, so that has been discontinued on day one. So the discontinuation of the CBP1 app has left migrants in Mexico heartbroken, many of the migrants who come over, with many reportedly seen crying after their applications were canceled. Coming in heavily to deliver his promise on restricting immigration into the U.S., Donald Trump banned the CBP1 app that facilitated the legal entry of nearly 1 million people into the United States by granting them work eligibility. The decision was announced just minutes after Trump was sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. The impact of this move was immediate, as people in Mexico were waiting for their CBP1 parole appointments were reportedly left devastated upon hearing the news. According to a post shared by X, a journalist there with the Washington Post, some migrants in Mexico were seen crying when they learned their appointments were no longer valid. This is going to this is going to make it worse. People are going to hide. They're going to try to come in illegally. This restricts the legal pathway for people to become citizens in the United States. First, I want to play this report. It's from NBC that explains what the CBP1 app is and what happened today. Here it is.
President signed and is about to sign several executive orders, 10 executive orders related to immigration. I will point out that this is already having an impact on the U.S. southern border. Just a short time ago, we learned that Customs and Border Protection has actually shut down what's called the CBP One app. Now, that was instituted during the Biden administration. And what it did was that it allowed asylum seekers to make appointments for initial asylum screenings using an app on their phone. Well, just within the past few hours, that has been shut down. And I was speaking with a migrant down in Tijuana, Mexico, that says that his future is now in limbo. All these asylum appointments that had been given over the last several months, potentially thousands of appointments, now have essentially gone away. So a lot of questions about how this will play out in the coming weeks. But the president.
Let's explain. There's another person that explains now the effect that this is going to have on immigration in this country. Here it is, potentially.
It was never about coming here the right way. One of the first anti-immigrant actions we're seeing today is the takedown of CBP One. It's a mobile app that allowed people to apply for asylum seeking, submit their information, get an appointment. And that sounds right to you, right? Like, oh, they're waiting in line, they're submitting their information, they're waiting for their appointment. Yes, because asylum seeking is 100% a legal pathway to come to the US. And today, thousands of people just woke up to their appointments canceled. No reason given to them, just a cancellation notice. You can't make me believe that you care about legality and how people come to this country while simultaneously sabotaging one of the few ways that people have to do that. And this is just one of the many anti-immigrant actions we expect to see today. There's a lot of speculation going around online as to what executive orders may be coming down, but I won't cover them until they're actually signed and real to not spread misinformation. It's never been about legality. It's always been about being anti-immigrant.
So there you go. Do you agree with her that it's not about legality? It's about being anti-immigrant? Does anyone agree with her on this panel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don, remember earlier I said that when we were having the prior conversation, that he's strategically moving to get out of the way persons who are not enamored with the whole, they're not in love with you. And they would be the persons who would lead the revolution that will be televised in order to get rid of you and to get rid of the oligarchy and because they would be the persons who would stand in the way and be the voices of dissent and be the voices of revolution. These would be the voices. These would be the voices. Nobody fights harder to get rid of oppression than persons who had to fight to get here in the first place. And I'm talking about what I know. My family is from the Turks and Caicos Islands. I'm first gen. My parents came over here. My dad came over here on a student visa. My mom came over here on a green card. When I was born and my younger brother was born, the next year, then my mother became eligible for her green card to then be turned over so she could apply for citizenship. Then after her citizenship came through, then she could get my father's visa turned into a green card. So we had the long haul, all right? So baby, I'm the product of a dream. You understand what I'm saying? My uncle came over here because of his uncle, and he fought for our military. He was in the United States Air Force, okay? So when it comes down to it, I mean, when it comes to pro-America, you would think that my Turks Island family, you would think they got United States flags right next to the Turks Island flag. They love this country. And when it comes to the infringement of the rights and privileges that they work hard to attain, that's going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a problem. And this is strategic because the idea of entitlement does not occur to us. Within my family, not only are we married into foundational American Blacks, which that's a whole other topic to itself, but we have Jamaican family, Haitian family, Guyanese family, and the list goes on and on. So we have a combination of the diaspora running through us. Mm-hmm. Entitlement does not mean anything to us. Yeah. So this is an issue. And this whole movement, we're going to catch strays left, right, and center. People think that when they think of this, they're thinking of primarily, let's be real, the Mexican population. That's what they're thinking of. The Caribbean population is going to catch stray bullets left, right, and center on this.
Wow.
He knows it.
Well,
This is all about immigration. He
well,
hates immigrants.
Yeah, well, apparently he ran on it, and it's okay. So apparently the folks in MAGA as well.
Oh, I'm sorry,
that,
Don. 1 second. Let me be specific. Black and brown immigrants. Okay, you can continue.
Why don't you say how you really feel? Look,
Had to put it out there.
I don't think people will disagree with you on that. And look, if you are restricting a pathway for people to come here legally, then that says a lot about your actions, because those folks who are applying on that CBP1 website, most of them are trying to go through the actual legal process. They're following the guidelines and the rules, and they aren't able to do it. If someone is oppressed, if someone is hurting in their home country, I think they're going to do whatever they can to get here. And that will, I think, put people in the shadows and actually encourage people to come here illegally. That's how I feel about the thing. And it is sad. Okay, so listen, I got to talk, guys, I'm going to tell you, look, on the next thing that I'm about to cover, okay, I need you guys to be respectful, because I think it's a very sensitive topic, okay? It's extremely sensitive. And I just want to, because it's drawing controversy all over the internet, and there are people who are outraged by it, and there's been no explanation so far, unless producers just make sure to make sure that we do our due diligence. Okay? I don't think there's been any explanation, any apology, anything as it relates to the next thing that I'm about to show you. Okay? So I'm going to roll this video. So Lemonheads, I'm going to put you sort of in the timeout for a minute. I'm going to roll this video. This is a video of right after, I guess, the swearing in, or sometime today during the inauguration of Elon Musk seemingly doing, I won't even say the kind of salute. You judge for yourself. What is this salute? Watch this.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Okay. And then there is another video of him actually doing it twice.
Making it happen. Thank you.
Okay. And then there is just a photo of it, if you look at the photograph. Now, again, we don't know what the intentions are. It is drawing all kinds of consternation online, even from Trump supporters, even from the MAGA folks, even from, now I want to know what you got. I'm going to go to some of the comments. Okay. Let me go to TikTok first. I'm going to go to TikTok first, but you can, so what do you guys think, TikTok? Did you guys watch that moment? Did you see the moment? Did anyone see that moment? And what do you think? We all know the intentions of, well, that they're talking about something else. The salute, we know what it is. Can't see anything. Well, you guys, because you're not watching us on TikTok. Did you guys see it? I did not see the moment. A lot of folks didn't watch it. A lot of folks didn't watch. Yes, says Regina Pinella. I saw the moment, and it felt very intentional. I saw it. It was clear, says Diva Nola Queen. Terrifying, says Mama Bear. It was clear as day, says Jen Christie 985. Is it going to be the 1930s or 40s Germany all over again, says Kimberly. He gave the salute, no question, says Your Fuzzy Scarf. We know that he did, says La Solita. Very clear what happened, says Brittany. It was intentional, says Smelly Cats 15. So I did not see the moment live. I saw the replay. I saw just about everything that you saw. And that's what the folks on the TikTok are saying. I want to make sure that I get your comments in. I just want to make sure I get your comments in. And if you haven't seen it, go look it up and we'll discuss. Okay, on to the YouTube comments. What say you, YouTube? Aretha H says, unbelievable. Liz Allen says, very Richard Spencer. Joy Behar warned that we're on a slippery slope, says Lisa G. Let's see. It was intentional and MAGA all cheered, says Paralegaling CC. First time seeing this, didn't watch one for a minute. There are folks comparing him to H from Germany. That's what Tracy Smith is saying. Spoonie Mel says, that was a clear Heil, and every Jew, myself included, just felt a bullet of fear through our whole body. Now, I've been wondering how my Jewish and brothers and sisters felt about that. It was intentional, says creative growth. Now, it was hard. At first, guys, I got to tell you, I was like, I'm not sure I want to cover this because I think it was, because I didn't see it. I just said, he did something and people are taking it out of context or overplaying it. Just as the whole sort of fake kiss with Melania was a little bit gossipy. And, I don't care to cover that because I don't think it rises to the occasion. But when I actually looked at it, I thought, and with the producers, because I discussed it. Nikki, you're there. I'm not sure if Peter's there. I'm not sure if Andy's there, but this was a point of consternation for me because I was like, do we really want to? And then I saw it and I just said, I have to cover it. It is my job as a journalist to be able to cover this. And we were very careful and intentional about how we framed it, correct?
Yeah, we had some conversations about how we need to frame this, but we all agreed that it can't really be ignored.
It can't really be ignored. So because, again, let's see. Shauna Fallberg says, I'm Jewish. There is no mistaking that salute. It makes me physically sick. Shayla Johnson says, trying so hard not to be mad. The comments are going crazy. Do we have any member, and again, guys, I want you to be really respectful and mindful about this. We have any member of our Lemon Legends who's Jewish? Anyone who's Jewish in the Lemon Legends? No one is Jewish. I'm gonna take a risk, Peggy. I'm gonna bring you in. What do you say? What do you think about this?
I've got Jewish friends who already are upset about what's happening in this country. And when they see this, they're just going to be appalled. I mean, my first husband was Jewish, and I know the culture, and there's no excuse for this. It's a blatant slap in the face to Jews. I didn't think I'd ever see this in my lifetime.
Was that your first time seeing it when we played it?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
think-
see it today because I didn't watch TV.
Do you think
And
too
I
much
just-
is being made of it?
No. And the thing is, it's gonna pass by like every other goddamn thing has passed by. All the things that Trump has done, people just ignore. This is gonna be ignored. Nothing will happen. And that's why this program, this platform you have is so important, because somebody's got to stand up for the truth. I mean, I just feel sick seeing that. We are in 1939. And we just didn't want to believe it. And now here it is right in our faces.
Again, look, I just want to say we have to be very careful and intentional about this. And so, guys, please, I'm going to ask you, Warren, What do you think
Well,
when you see this? Again, we don't know his intention, but we saw the motion.
Well, I didn't see it until this point in time, but as I saw it, I wondered, did he learn that from Stephen Miller? Or in addition to what Stephen Miller probably does in the White House, because both of them are.
Again, I've been in a position, we don't know. I mean, you're making assumptions about Stephen Miller. You don't know what Stephen Miller is.
I've seen Stephen Miller's politics from how he deals with this new president. I've seen his politics before when this new president was in the White House, and I sense that they're both on the same page. He just confirmed that for me. That's all I'm saying, Don.
I got it. Jim, can you mind weighing in again? So be just careful, because remember, this new administration is also very litigious. Okay.
I will be very careful. I don't even think it's a homage to, the Mr. H. Back there. I think it's just it's the new sign of all hate. It's not just specified for Jews anymore. It's taking on a new meaning. It's for blacks, it's for gays, it's for transgender, it's for Mexicans, it's for everybody who they want to hate. And hate was released in Charlottesville, as far as I'm concerned, and it was let out of the bottle, and no one's going to put it back in, and no one's got the cap to put it back in, and that's what scares me the most. I mean, I have an African American son, I have a Hispanic daughter. It's very scary. It's just very scary, and I think what he did was disgusting with that sign, because everybody knows what it's to, but I think it is taking on a new meaning. I don't think it is specific for Jews anymore. They should be horrified, but we're all going to be getting, big T bands and.
Well, here's the thing.
Who knows?
Okay, listen, and again, I said we want to be very intentional, and I also want to make sure that we have balance here, because Aaron Dallin, by the way, Aaron, thank you for your support of independent media. Aaron says, I'm Jewish, and I think Musk is dangerous, but I don't think the salute was intentional. Let's focus on what actually makes him dangerous. And again, I don't know, should he be given the benefit of the doubt until there's some explanation? But, again, I have to be very, very careful about this. I want to move on and talk about Doge, okay? Let's talk about Doge. I don't know if you guys saw what happened. I think if you watched this morning, that has been reported by CBS that they are pushing Vivek Ramaswamy out of Doge. They're saying Vivek Ramaswamy is too annoying even to be on a panel that is a blue ribbon panel, and that he had worn out his welcome, and they said, you're out, you got to get out of here. We're not interested in having you. Maureen, are you surprised by they're not even in office, or before they were even in office, they're pushing Vivek Ramaswamy out because they're saying he rubbed the folks on the Doge panel the wrong way?
Oh, no. I think it's going to be ongoing. I'm happy to see him go, but he hasn't even had a chance to do what they've asked him to do. No, I'm not surprised. I'm not going to be surprised by anything. They all should go. That's my feeling. But they're all going to annoy each other, Don. Let's put it that way. But when they avoid what's his face, who became president today, they really are gone. So
yeah. Well,
nothing is normal. Nothing is normal anymore.
Nothing is normal. Legend, I love that you're here. I appreciate you guys. I love that you're helping to build this community, that you're so outspoken. And you guys know that I'm making sure that I know just how dangerous it is sometimes to discuss some of these issues. And I just want to make sure we want to have a respectful place for people to come. We want to state our intentions.
We got you now.
No. I'm talking about all subjects. I'm talking about all subjects. Right?
Yep. Ride the brakes, Don. It's all right.
This is what we do here, because you don't know, right? And I am always honest about everything. Even if you don't agree with me, I'm always honest about it. And so I'm glad that you guys are helping to build this community. And so, legends, before we go, Were you happy with what we did today? Is there something that you would have liked to have seen? Is there something that you did not get to talk about or I didn't talk about that you wanted us to? Go ahead, sir. What say you?
Yes, Don. I was hoping that you would talk. Well, I don't know what the earlier show dealt with, but I read the poem Dr. Martin. Well, I read part of his speech, "Keep Moving Forward," that he had presented on April 10th, in 1968 at Spelman College, and the importance of that speech was to retain the perseverance and resilience that it makes. And I highly recommend the listeners to go listen to his speech of Keep Moving Forward. It was very inspirational to me this morning and today as we speak now. And I was just hoping that we could talk a little bit more about Dr. Martin Luther King, because this is the observation.
This is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We did 3 hours this morning.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I'm asleep or doing something else. But that
Warren, we did 3 hours this morning, and we covered.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know. I understand. I'm messing with you, okay? But listen. Let me tell you. Well, if you missed Reverend Sharpton this morning,
I did.
Reverend Sharpton had 0 F's to give this morning, and he was amazing. Okay. By the way, look, just coming across the wire, this is confirmed because I said reportedly that he was going to be pushed out. This is according to the Associated Press. The Associated Press is reporting now, breaking: Vivek Ramaswamy will not serve in the new Department of Government Efficiency, the White House says. Trump had selected him to lead alongside Elon Musk. So it is official now, not just according to CBS, who said they had sources saying that he's going to be pushed out. This is 100% confirmed now by the Associated Press, according to the White House, that Vivek Ramaswamy will not be in there. Now, you guys know, I tried to warn you guys when I was back on the CNN about the Vivek. If you didn't know that he was annoying, then I tried to warn y'all. You didn't know he was annoying because he said Black people got their freedoms because the NRA fought for Black people to get their Second Amendment rights, which got their freedom during the Civil War.
Womp womp.
And this is an F around and find out moment.
Tomato.
This is an F around and find out moment for the Doge people about Vivek Ramaswamy. I tried to warn them because he thinks he knows everything. Do you know when somebody says talking loud or talking fast and saying nothing?
And saying nothing.
Yes. Go on, man.
Loud and wrong. All the time.
Go ahead, Peg. What do you want to say?
But Ann Coulter had it for him.
Oh my gosh.
Ann Coulter had it for him. And yet here we are. To his face.
Straight up.
Straight no chaser. Straight no chaser.
On the television. I seen it.
We all seen it. And yet
on his own podcast, she said, I love the things that you said. I'm paraphrasing. I love some of the things that you said and whatever. And I agree with you on a whole lot, but I can't get behind you. I can't vote for you because you're Indian. It's like, oh my God.
Sir, pack this boy up. Pack this boy up. At that point, he should have packed it all up and go start working on the book, Vivek.
But
America and Me.
But
that's the name of the book.
I'm just saying also in it, for folks who will do anything and say anything to cozy up to power and to be part of the MAGA movement. Look, Nikki effed around and Nimrata found out.
Nimrata. Call her by her government name. Yes, Nimrata. We know who you are, baby.
Yes. Go ahead, Kim Page. What do you want to say?
No, I'm just saying this is the new season of Survivor, and he's the first to get voted off the island, and there's going to be a lot more.
I love you guys. As Wendy Williams would say, I'm sure you guys saw the Wendy Williams show last week. I love you for watching. I love you guys for being Lemonheads. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, you take care.
Listen to you, Don.
Blessings. Would you say, Maureen?
I said they all should have listened to you, and we do love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed the programming that we did this morning and that you enjoyed the program today. And so thank you guys. That is our Lemon Legends who are joining us. We will see them next time. They get special treatment. They're going to get a special stream sometime this week. Maybe we'll do dinner. I don't know. We'll cook. We'll do something. But we are glad that they are here. Thank you so much. And now to the comments. Now to our lemon heads who are joining us on this stream today with the, oh my gosh, the amazing amount of people who are watching us. Thank you. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. We have so many people watching us. Make sure you hit the hearts, no matter which platform you're on. Like and subscribe. We are on YouTube. You can become a subscriber. It is free. You can become a member. All you have to do, the membership link is at the top of the chat. If you're on an iPhone, you're going to have to go to the YouTube website to do it because iPhone and YouTube not allowing you to do it. Vivek ran out of money, says Shayla Johnson. I think Vivek has a lot of money. I'm not so sure about that. Thank you and bye-bye, says Danita. Let's see. So thanks, Don. Enjoy your night. Blessed one. I'm not gone yet. I'm still here. So they ran out of being able to look past his color, says Shayla Johnson. Creative Growth says, amen. I'm not sure to what. Voices of the Swamp says, love your show. All the folks, I hope we're putting the names up of all the folks who are becoming members today so that we can thank them for becoming members. Bye, Legend, says Linda Furker. Bye. Welcome to the Elimination, P. We appreciate it. We're so glad that you're part of the Elimination. And there's so many members. Our platform is growing so quickly. This is your platform. It's not mine. I'm just here leading it. Make sure you hit a like on Don's YT, says Grace Reimers. Thank you. And so anyways, that's it. He wore out his brownness, says Maria Maniscalco. The cracks are already here, says Samantha's Universe. That's some scary shit, says another member. So welcome to the Elimination, Ken Williams. Welcome, Connie Fontaine. All the folks who have become members today. Welcome, Miss Terry, too. So glad that you became a member as well. So we appreciate it. And let me know what you would like. This is your platform. Janice Olson, welcome. Sheila Jackson, welcome as well. Firmament Solutions, welcome to the Elimination. Indigo Yo became a member. Thank you. So did Joseph Taylor. Let me know what you would like to see in this community, okay? Creative Growth as well became a member. Let me know what you would like to see in this community. Passenger Shaming says, I'm going on a media blackout. It is too upsetting. Don is probably all I will watch for the next few years. We like that around here. Thank you for your support. Jesus USB UCSB, thank you for your support. I just sent ICE to the White House. You guys, hilarious. K Marie 2251 says, thank you for today, Don. As a Canadian, today was a dark day, and there is a lot of fear of what awaits us. I appreciate you and this community beyond words. Thank you, K Marie. We appreciate you as well. Tanya Russell, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. So Patty Rush as well. So Cuthbert Walden, same. I like to shout you guys out. Charlotte Scurry became a member, and we're happy about that. Hey, Wendy Williams became a YouTube member. Is it another Wendy Williams? Joyce Morrison became a member of the Elimination. And Amanda Belcher. Amanda, why are you always doing this? Amanda, because of your generosity, 5 people get to become members of the Elimination. They get to become Lemonheads. Tawny Sanchez Brianna, thank you for your support. Cammie Hill, welcome to the Elimination. Faith Richard, welcome. So when you guys, you're all part of the family here. You should know that. And you too, as I am shouting out your comments, if you become a Lemon Legend, you will get to be up on the screen and talk. Shannon O'Toole, happy that you're here as well. So listen, guys. Oh, let's see what Sir James Brown has to say. Sir James Brown, thank you for your support of independent media. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Trump is jealous of Gavin Newsom because he's better and smarter than he is, and he speaks facts and will not grovel to Orange Man. He hates California. Lots of jealousy. Thank you, Sir James Brown. Thank you, Dorothy Gentry, for your generous support of independent media. And Free Spirit Mara, welcome to the Elimination. Okay, so listen, we're going to be back tomorrow. Megan Lee, new member, we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for our Hot Topics program. We'll have some new stuff to talk about. Whatever chaos is happening with the administration, that is worth covering. We're just not going to cover stuff because it's gossipy or breaking news or because someone had a tweet or someone did whatever. We're going to cover the things that are important to you and that you need to know about. Okay. So thank you, Team Elimination. Oh, what a day. What a day. What a day. I hate to leave you. But you guys, you don't have to leave. You don't have to go home, but you got to leave. As we say. Oh my gosh, wait, let me shout out someone. Let me shout out Anderstein Global Risk, is that management? My husband, Bill, and I, John, are going through the horror of the immigration process. We're so worried. Anderstein, tell me about that. We're sorry. We appreciate your support for what's going on. Why are you worried? My husband, Bilal, and I, John, are going through the horror of the immigration process. We're so worried. A lot of folks are feeling that way. You've become part of our community, Anderstein Global Risk Management, and we welcome your comments and we will highlight them as often as we can and as often as we see them. So blessings to you and your family, Anderstein. Folks in the chat are saying blessings to you. We are a loving community. So we appreciate you, okay? Have a fantastic evening. Stay healthy, stay happy, take care of yourself. Protect your peace. Ignore the noise. Ignore the haters. Remember, haters are super fans. Trolls are super fans. And sometimes you can teach them some things. And if you can't, you just ignore them, but you welcome them in, and you just say, hey, you do you, I'm going to do me. But we're going to be together for the next 4 years or however long it takes. We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through it with respecting each other's intelligence, no false equivalency, no normalizing shit that should not be normalized. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern for Hot Topics. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.